Hi there, I have a question for you. Have you ever had to go someplace that you had never been before? What did that feel like for you? I know that I have had to move about 4 times. I have lived in 5 states and since I've been born. I grew up in the state of Arkansas, and about 20 years ago, I married my husband and we moved all the way across the country to the desert in California. It was totally different. And then I got used to it, and God said, okay, now you're going back across the country to Kansas, which is near Arkansas, but it's not home. Okay, new place, learn all about it. Went to Kansas. And then God said, okay, now you're going to New Mexico, the desert again. So we went across the country, kind of, down to New Mexico. And 2 years ago, God said, you're going up to Maine. And we said, okay. And we went up to Maine. Now, each one of these places is different, every single one of them. And so every time we were going to move, I would go online, I'd go on my computer, and I would look up, what the weather is like. What is the main food that people like to eat there? How much does things cost? Where am I going to shop? All kinds of questions. And it is amazing that I had that convenience. I even found this house that we live in Maine, almost said New Mexico. I found this house while still in New Mexico. We actually moved up here and moved right into the house. All of that was provided by God. Now, the children of Israel, they've been being provided by God too. He's led them out of Egypt. He's rescued them from that really mean Pharaoh. And now he's taking them into the land that he promised them. But before they can go in there, they got to find out what it's like. Now, I was able to get on the computer and see all kinds of things about where I was going. They didn't have that, did they? No, they sent 12 spies, one from each tribe of Israel, into the promised land to see what it was like. And they spent 40 days there. Now, when they came back, the people wanted to know, hey, what was it like? What are we going to have? And 10 of the spies were like, no, we're not going. It's not happening. No, because they were scared. But the other two, Joshua and Caleb, were like, yes, it's fantastic. God has promised this to us. We're going to go. The stuff is amazing. Like, look at these grapes. They had these giant grapes they brought back. I mean, one grape was like huge, not like our little ones. And they're like, we can go. They're like, but there's one teeny little problem. You see, the people there, they're really, really big. We look like grasshoppers to them. But it's going to be okay because our God, he's going to take care of us. But again, the other 10, no, not doing it, not happening. Peace out, Boy Scout. They didn't want anything to do with it. Now, who do you think the people all listened to? The 2 who were like, we got this, and God's got this. Or the other 10 who were like, ah! They listened to the other 10. So they're like, nope, we're not going. We're out. Not happening. Now, can you imagine how that made God feel? I mean, he promised this land to them. It would be the land that their children would grow up in. And it was amazing. And there was everything they needed was in this land. And it was right there. But they were scared. And they couldn't do it. They said, no, we can't. And that right there was the problem. They can't. But you see, God can. And that's what Joshua and Caleb believed. They knew, okay, we're small compared to these guys, but God has us. God's going to take care of us. But again, the other 10, and the other people, so it didn't happen. And God was sad. And he said, okay. He told Moses to tell the people, you will not go into the promised land. Your children will go into the promised land when they're older, but you won't. And he meant exactly what he said. 40 years later, the children of them got to go. However, there were 2 older guys who got to go too. Can you guess who they were? I can tell you that their names rhymed with Boshua and Baleb. Gee, What could it be? Joshua and Caleb got to go, and we will learn more about that tomorrow. Until then, remember that when you're faced with things that are scary, even if it's just going to a new store or new restaurant, maybe it's going to a new friend's house, God is going with you. He's taking care of you, and you are not alone. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.